As we step into 2025 with renewed hope and aspirations, it is also a time for reflection. Tonight, on this special year end episode of Unraveled, we revisit 2024. The events of 2024 were not just headlines. They were the stories of millions of lives. 2024 was a year when democracy in South Asia stood at a crossroads, a year of elections, transitions, hopes, and disillusionments. South Asia's democratic calendar was jam packed in 2024, with elections in Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka shaping the political landscape. Hello and welcome to New Wave Global. You are watching Unraveled with Marvi Sarmat. Let me start by wishing a very happy new year to all our viewers. As we step into 2025 with renewed hope and aspirations, it is also a time for reflection. A time to look back and understand the year that shaped us, challenged us, and brought us together in unexpected ways. Tonight, on this special year end episode of Unraveled, we revisit 2024, a year that tested the resilience of South Asia and left us with crucial lessons for the future. Why is it important to look back? Because history, even recent history, is our greatest teacher. The events of 2024 were not just headlines. They were the stories of millions of lives, of elections that shaped nations, of economies that struggled but persevered, and of human rights that were both defended and violated. South Asia, with its vast diversity and dynamism, is a region that matters deeply to the world. And its journey last year is one we must closely examine. So, tonight, let's delve into the moments that mattered, the decisions that defined us, and the challenges that remain. From political transitions to economic struggles, from the fight to justice to the resilience of ordinary people, we will unravel what 2024 meant for South Asia and why it matters for all of us. Let's begin. 2024 was a year when democracy in South Asia stood at a crossroads, a year of elections, transitions, hopes, and disillusionments. It was a time when region's people were both empowered and betrayed, when economies struggled but showed resilience, and when political realities tested the very fabric of human rights and justice. South Asia's democratic calendar was jam packed in 2024, with elections in Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka shaping the political landscape. But this was no ordinary year. These elections were not just about ballots, they were battlegrounds for fairness, inclusivity, and survival of democracy itself. In Pakistan, a delayed election marred by allegations of military interference and institutional overreach reflected the fragility of the democratic process. The sidelining of former Prime Minister Imran Khan through dozens of questionable legal cases polarized the nation further. The credibility of Pakistan's institutions took a severe hit, raising questions about their independence and impartiality. Meanwhile, in India, the world's largest democracy, Prime Minister Narendra Modi secured an unprecedented third term. Yet, the road to victory was littered with divisive rhetoric and allegations of voter suppression. Mr. Modi's campaign openly targeted minorities, especially Muslims, amplifying communal tensions. Despite high voter participation, India's democracy battled its own demons of creeping authoritarianism and institutional bias. Meanwhile, in Bangladesh, the controversial elections further entrenched the authoritarian streak of the incumbent government led by Sheikh Hasina Wajid, whose power hangover became a flashpoint for one of the most significant uprisings in the country's recent history. The reinstatement of a controversial job quota for descendants of freedom fighters triggered mass protests led by students in June of 2024. What began as demonstrations against an unfair policy quickly morphed into a broader rebellion against corruption, inequality, and a decade and a half of authoritarian governance under Sheikh Hasina Wajid's administration. By July, the streets were ablaze with dissent, and violent crackdowns by security forces left hundreds dead and thousands injured. Under mounting pressure and with her government's credibility in tatters, Sheikh Hasina resigned in August and sought refuge in India. Her departure marked the end of a controversial era, but also unleashed a wave of instability. The power vacuum allowed for targeted attacks on Hindu minority, with several communities bearing the brunt of mob violence as political and social tensions boiled over. These attacks underscored the fragile state of interfaith harmony in Bangladesh, a nation already grappling with deep societal divides. The interim government, led by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus, was tasked with restoring order and preparing the country for credible elections. Yet, the road has been anything but smooth. Frictions within the government, fueled by resistance from entrenched bureaucratic networks and remnants of Hasina's loyalists, have made reforms painstakingly slow. Public skepticism lingers, and the challenges of rebuilding trust in governance looms large. For Bangladesh, the year ended at a crossroads, caught between the promise of democratic renewal and the lingering shadows of its troubled past. And now let's have a look at Sri Lanka. In 2024, the political landscape underwent a seismic shift that captured the imagination of a nation yearning for change. The presidential elections in September and parliamentary elections in November were not just exercises in democracy. They were a resounding rejection of the old guard and a powerful call for accountability, reform, and progress. The election of Anura Kumara Dissanayake as president marked a turning point. As the leader of the National People's Power (NPP), Dissanayake built his campaign on a platform of anti-corruption, economic reform, and a break from the entrenched political dynasties that had dominated Sri Lanka for decades. His victory symbolized a groundswell of public frustration with traditional elites and a collective desire to chart a new course. Dissanayike's appeal lay in his willingness to confront systemic issues heads on, offering hope to a populace that had grown weary of stagnation, nepotism, and economic mismanagement. The optimism generated by the presidential election carried over into November's parliamentary elections, where the NPP secured a commanding majority. This landslide victory was unprecedented in its scope, dismantling the grip of the long dominant United National Party UNP and the Sri Lanka Freedom Party SLFP. For voters, this was not just about political allegiances, it was a statement of intent. The electorate demanded accountability for years of economic turmoil, including the devastating financial crisis of 2022, and rejected the leaders who had failed to prevent it. Of course, challenges remain. Translating electoral victories into tangible improvements will require bold leadership. Not just bold leadership, but also careful policy, its implementation, and an unwavering focus on rebuilding trust in institutions. Sri Lanka's journey toward recovery and reform is far from over, but 2024 has undoubtedly been a pivotal year, a moment when hope found its way back into the hearts of the people. For Sri Lankans, these elections are a reminder that democracy, when embraced and exercised, remains one of the most powerful tools for the transformative change. To quote one of Bill Clinton's campaign phrases from 1992, it's the economy, stupid. Politics and economics are inseparable, and 2024 was no exception, and neither was South Asia. The economies of almost all the South Asian countries faced global headwinds, internal inefficiencies, and political instability. In 2024, Sri Lanka demonstrated cautious progress on the economic front as the country continued its recovery from the devastating financial crisis of 2022. With the support of an International Monetary Fund bailout, the government implemented a series of fiscal reforms aimed at stabilizing the economy and addressing its ballooning debt. Debt restructuring efforts gained momentum, with significant agreements reached with major creditors, offering a lifeline to the beleaguered economy. Inflation, which had soared to alarming levels in previous years, showed signs of easing, bringing some relief to households struggling with high costs of living. Overall, while 2024 marked the year of stabilization and cautious optimism for Sri Lanka, the road to full economic recovery remains steep. Success will depend on sustained political stability, effective governance, and a continued focus on balancing fiscal discipline with social equity. In contrast, Pakistan's economy continued to struggle throughout 2024. It remained mired in deep challenges, struggling to break free from the cycles of instability that have plagued it for years. Inflation eased slightly from the record highs of 2023, but prices of essential goods and energy remained prohibitive for large segments of the population, exacerbating poverty and inequality. The country's reliance on bailouts from international lenders like the IMF exposed its vulnerability, with little progress made toward sustainable reforms. Structural issues such as a narrow tax base, weak governance, and political uncertainty hindered meaningful economic recovery. Foreign investment was scant as investors remained wary of the country's political instability and security concerns, especially amid rising militant attacks in key regions of the country. Despite attempts to boost exports and remittances, these efforts were overshadowed by energy shortages, depreciating currency, and lackluster industrial output. In 2024, Pakistan's economy remained a sobering reflection of the urgent need for reforms that address systemic insufficiencies, ensure political stability, and prioritize long term growth over short term fixes. Without significant shifts in governance and policy direction, the path to recovery will remain elusive. And now, India. In 2024, India's economy stood out as a global bright spot amid economic uncertainties, achieving steady growth fueled by robust infrastructure investments, technological advancements, and a thriving services sector. Initiatives like the ambitious India AI mission, positioned the country as a burgeoning leader in artificial intelligence, signaling its intent to dominate the global tech landscape. Additionally, India saw strong foreign direct investment inflows, particularly in renewable energy and manufacturing, as it continued to market itself as a key player in global supply chain diversification. Major infrastructure projects, including highways, railways, and urban development, further cemented its growth narrative. However, the year also laid bare significant vulnerabilities. Unemployment remained stubbornly high, especially in rural areas where agricultural distress continued to affect livelihoods. Inflation, although moderated compared to global averages, remained a concern for middle and low income households. India's wealth disparity widened, highlighting the need for more inclusive growth strategies. Persistent challenges in job creation, healthcare access, and education investment underscored gaps in the country's development trajectory. India's economic progress in 2024 reflected a nation moving forward with resilience and ambition, yet grappling with systemic challenges that threaten to undermine its potential. To truly solidify its standing as an economic powerhouse, India must address its disparities and ensure that growth benefits all segments of its vast population. Diversity must be celebrated, not be frightened of. And lest we forget, beyond elections and economies lies the question of human dignity, a question that many South Asian governments failed to answer in 2024. In Pakistan, Afghan refugees were targeted in a wave of deportations, leaving countless families stranded. India's treatment of Bangladeshi origin residents through policies like the National Register of Citizens stripped thousands of their rights, reducing them to illegal immigrants in the land they called home. From Pakistan's missing activists to Bangladesh's disappeared opposition members, enforced disappearances became a chilling tool for silencing dissent. The specter of state sponsored repression loomed large over South Asia, leaving a trail of broken families and unanswered questions. Governments weaponized the digital space to stifle dissent. Internet shutdowns in India's Kashmir region, social media censorship in Pakistan, and surveillance in Bangladesh all pointed to a worrying trend of shrinking freedoms. Journalists faced harassment, arrests, and even assassination attempts in a region where the press often pays the price for speaking truth to power. And while we are at it, speaking about human rights, violence against women continued to plague South Asia, with 2024 seeing some of the most harrowing cases of gender based violence. In India, the rape and murder of a medical student in Kolkata sparked nationwide outrage, with medical professionals demanding better safety measures. In Pakistan, the allegations of an on campus rape ignited protests in Lahore. Although the reports were later dismissed as misinformation turned into an organized disinformation campaign, the ensuing crackdown on social media underscored the government's willingness to exploit such incidents for further repression. Gender based violence remains deeply entrenched in the region, perpetuated by patriarchal norms, weak judicial systems, and societal stigmas. Without systemic reforms, the cycle of violence will continue. And how can we not talk about geopolitics? As global powers vie for influence, South Asia has become a hotbed of geopolitical maneuvering. In 2024, the region remained a theater of big power rivalry, with China, the United States, and the regional players like India and Pakistan vying for influence. The tension between Afghanistan and Pakistan escalated as cross border attacks and militant hideouts became flashpoints. With Pakistan conducting rare airstrikes in Afghan territory, sparking diplomatic strain. Pakistan itself saw a troubling uptick in terrorism, with militant groups exploiting political instability to launch deadly attacks, particularly in its northwest regions. Meanwhile, Indian administered Kashmir witnessed a surge in terrorist activities, further straining India's relations with Pakistan and intensifying military operations in the region. India's ties with other South Asian neighbors also faced challenges as its growing assertiveness in bilateral disputes and alignment with global powers like the US and Quad alienated countries like Nepal and Bangladesh. These developments underscored the fragility of peace and stability in South Asia, where unresolved conflicts and external rivalries risk fueling further regional unrest. The big power rivalries aside, minilateral and multilateral platforms like the BIMSTEC, Quad, G20, and Shanghai Cooperation Organization SCO gained traction among the South Asian nations, offering opportunities for regional collaboration. India's growing influence within Quad initiatives and Pakistan's hosting of the SCO summit reflected the region's strategic importance. However, the systemic erosion of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SARC, a once promising forum for regional unity, remains a glaring void. Revitalizing SARC could provide South Asia with the means to tackle shared challenges like climate change, terrorism, and economic instability. As we look ahead, South Asia stands at a critical juncture. The region's challenges, economic fragility, democratic erosion, human rights abuses, and geopolitical tensions, are undeniable. But so are its opportunities. South Asia's resilience lies in its people. The activists demanding justice, the voters rejecting stagnation, and the communities forging new paths. The path forward demands courage from leaders to reform broken systems, from citizens to hold power accountable, and from the global community to support the region's aspirations without compromising its sovereignty. Ultimately, South Asia's future will be shaped not in its halls of power, but in the collective will of its people to claim justice, equity, and progress. As we step into 2025, let us hold on to the lessons of the past year. Let us remember that democracy thrives when it is inclusive, that progress is real when it reaches everyone, and that justice is meaningful only when it is served without fear or favor. The future of South Asia depends not just on its leaders, but on every individual who dares to dream of a better tomorrow. Thank you for being with us tonight. This is Marvi Sarmad wishing you a new year filled with peace, resilience, and the courage to unravel the truths that matter. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and stay hopeful.